I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, today we're reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 41, and let's focus on verses 1 through 3. In the 7th month, Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, son of Elishama, of the royal family, one of the king's chief officers, came with 10 men to Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, at Mizpah. And they ate a meal together, and there in Mizpah. But then Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, and the 10 men whom were with him got up and struck down Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, son of Shaphan, with the sword, and they killed the one the king of Babylon had appointed in the land. Ishmael also struck down all the Judeans who were with Gedaliah at Mizpah, as well as the Chaldean soldiers who were there. This is not good. This is not a good news report to hear on BNN, Babylon News Network. Gedaliah faithfully attempted to bring some order out of the chaos resulting from Jerusalem's fall. What do I mean? Jeremiah chapter 40, verses 9 and 10. And Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, took an oath before them and their men, saying, "Do not fear to serve the Chaldeans. Dwell in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and it will be well with you. Behold, I will live at Mizpah and serve the Chaldeans, who will come to me. But you gather your wine and summer fruits and oil, put them in your vessels, and dwell in your cities which you have chosen." Now there was no doubt, there's no doubt of the sincerity or the loyalty and the wisdom of Gedaliah. But almost immediately a plot was formed against his life. Jonathan, or Johanan, and the leaders of the forces in the open country reported to the governor that Ishmael of the royal family, one of the chief officers of the king, had been sent by the ruler of the Ammonites to assassinate Gedaliah. And in his naive trust, Gedaliah did not believe the reports. No, there's no way Ishmael would do that to me. Johanan even offered to protect Gedaliah by secretly killing the intended murderer. But the unsuspecting victim replied, "You shall not do this thing, for you speak falsely about Ishmael." Gedaliah did not doubt the loyalty of Ishmael, and no one would have believed the depth of his treachery. Of course, today's passage tells the story, right? Ishmael was not a man to be trusted with the life of the governor, nor of the Jews in his company or the Chaldeans who were attending to the governor. The slaughter was so overwhelming that no one knew of the murder of Gedaliah the next day when a company of 80 pilgrims approached Mizpah. And these pilgrims exhibited signs of deep sorrow, and they carried offerings with them as they were on their way to Jerusalem, possibly to mourn for the destruction of the temple. And then another slaughter ensues, and 70 pilgrims, people just coming to worship God, were killed, while the remaining 10 begged for their lives, using hidden desert storehouses as bargaining chips. So what are we to glean from these tragic events? Desperate times lead to desperate measures. For the ungodly, their desperation leads to evil. Those who choose to follow the Lord become all the more desperate to follow Him when desperate times come. Where do you turn when the heat comes on? You know, they say that people are like tea bags. You never know what's on the inside till you put them in hot water. It's also important for us to not be so trusting all the time. Not just of the non-believer, but also of the professing follower of Jesus. Trust His character over time. That's the way it works. So just because a person professes to be a believer doesn't mean that they can be fully trusted. To babysit your children, for instance. And if they sustain a Messiah-like character over time, they're more like Jesus, and man, the more I'm around this person, the more like Jesus they are, well then perhaps they can be trusted with more responsibility. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And yes, we need your monthly support. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. You know, another way to help is just tell people about Groundworks Ministries. Hey, have you ever heard of Groundworks Ministries? Share these podcasts with friends and family. and on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.